All right, welcome to our second Excel walkthrough. This time we're going to be working with the if function and a little bit more formula calculation. So for this, I want you to have the if data file downloaded and opened, and I want to make sure that we are all on the Part A worksheet. So here we want to decide whether each employee, each sales rep is going to earn a bonus. So first we have to set up some math, and then we have to look at the value and compare it to something and decide whether that bonus is going to be awarded. We can see from the bottom that our commission is 5%. And just to get a little math going, commission is 5% of sales. So in order to figure that out, we take sales and we multiply it by 5 divided by 100. That's a percent thing. So here's the math for commission. Our math that we need overall in cell E5 is going to be sales subtract sales times commission, or sorry, times the commission percentage, or sales minus commission. Bearing that in mind, I'm going to click into cell E5 and start building a formula. We always start with equals, and we need to have our sales right here, and we're going to subtract sales times, which is a star above the number 8 if you're using that kind of keyboard, and commission. So I'm just going to click in the cell to grab the commission. But if I don't want the formula when I copy it down to move the commission down from B27 to B28, I have to make part of this absolute. I have to put the dollar signs, and you could hit F4, I think, but I'm just going to manually do it because I know we all are having different approaches, around B27, which means a dollar sign before B and a dollar sign before 27. And let's hit enter and see what we get. Okay, it's already formatted to the dollar format. Great, no work there. So I see that my sales were 2,615. Our sales less commission 2,484.25. I'm going to jump back into that cell, go to the corner to get that black plus, which is the fill handle, click and drag it down. So the formula is copied down. And if I've done it correctly, I'm going to see numbers. If you see no value, you probably haven't got the dollar signs on the reference to the commission cell, B27. It's time to do our function. So we are going to create a new column. It's going to start in F4. We're going to call it bonus. And then we go to F5, and this is where we are going to build our if function. Click on the insert function. I'm going to look up if, because it's not here. I press go to look it up. I see it highlighted. That's great. I click OK. I get a logical test. I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way. What I want to do is check to see whether the column E, sales less commission, is greater than 2,000. So I want to see whether people are going to get that bonus. So here we go, building this. I'm just going to type it this time to make it easy. We go checking if E5 is greater, so this is the arrow that opens up to the E5, or equal to 2,000. The value, if it's true, what do we give them? If it's true, we give them $1,000 if they made over 2,000 in sales less commission. And the value, if false, is 0. Wah, wah. So let's hit OK and see what happens. So this person, Maria, is above 2,000, so I expect her to get the bonus, and it works. So the first 0 I'm expecting to see is Hunter down here. Let's see what happens when we grab the fill handle and drag the function down. Perfect. Now I'd like to figure out how much each sales rep has made. So I'm going to write total earnings in column G. I'll spread it a little wider so I can see all my typing. Okay, so we need another formula. We need to add the commission to the bonus if there is one. So let's remember what the commission was. The commission was the sales multiplied by B27, but we need to make it absolute. Why am I not just typing in 0.05? Because I changed it there. Let's make that back to B. Because if I do, it's not easy to change just the commission and have everything change. You'd have to go back in it. So I can, by referencing B27, I can always alter the commission and have it work. Okay, so clicking to the end of the sentence again, sometimes it's easier to work up in the formula bar, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so I've figured out the commission. Now I need to add the bonus if they have one. So I just add F5 and I hit enter. There we go. It's a terrible earning for an entire quarter of a year. All right, so I'm going to drag down the formula. And there we go. And this one's already in our accounting format. I might also go over to the bonus, select it. You could select the entire column if you want. I just selected the table, and we're going to change that to the accounting format. And that just makes the dollar signs go over to the far side, far left of the bar instead of being tight to the number. So perhaps a preference style. Or maybe I should say style preference, that would be a little smarter. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to part B. First, I want to copy columns A through E onto the worksheet named part B. So we can't see that right now. It's below your screen, but I'm going to select all of these. I can use copy, or I can use Control Command or Command C. And you see the little dancing ants that tell you you've selected it. I'm going to click over to part B. And I'm just going to put my cursor right in the top and click paste. There we go. We're just going to mess around with another version of an if function. So this time I'm going to call column F bonus earned. Question mark. And I'll enter that and make it a little bigger. Oops, and a little bigger. So what I need to do now is look at E5 and see whether it's greater or less than 2000 again. But I'm going to do it a backwards way. See if you see the difference. Okay. Insert a function. I've got if selected. Hit OK. All right. The logical test. Looking at E5. And this time I'm going to see if it is less than 2000. So if E5 is less than 2000, are you going to earn a bonus? No, because you didn't make enough on your commission or sales less commission. So value if true is no. And value if false is yes. And you can see when I click out that the no is put in quotation marks, and that's just how Excel says, oh, it's a text answer. Okay, I'm going to hit OK and see what happens. Yes, that person earned the bonus. I'm going to go to the corner and drag down and see what happened. Yep, this one is too low. Get a no. Fantastic. Maybe I'll center that column so it looks pretty. There we go. Here I've opened another in-class exercise. This is the formula data file. So we're going to do formulas that are a little more irritating. We're going to use a lookup table again, but notice how it's arranged. We're going to use an H lookup table, which stands for horizontal lookup table. So we want to get a weighted average in 4. So we need to look at all of these marks that we got on a test. So let's look at test 1. We got 20 out of a possible 25, 20 out of a possible 25, but that's only worth 15%. So I have to adjust 20 out of 25 to something out of 15, so I can add it to the other 3 tests and get an actual total grade for this mark, percentage grade for this class, sorry. I'm not expecting you to know this formula, but make note of it because it's going to come in handy in the actual assignment for this Excel lesson. So we're going to start with an equals, and then we take the 20, and we're going to divide it, which is the backslash, forward slash, by 25, the total marks possible in the test. And the math we do to correct that to out of 15 is we multiply the star by 15%. Now you can see it is quickly getting very, very busy in our little square, and it's covering up a bunch of other stuff. So I would highly recommend for this and the assignment that you work in the formula bar. So I'm coming up here now, and I want to add the mark on test 2, which is worth 25%. So I'm going to have a plus sign to add. I click on the mark that they got, also a 20. I'm going to divide that by 30 because the test is out of 30. And I'm going to multiply it by the weight, which is 25%. Okay, I'm going to move over to test 3 now. Adding the mark they got divided by the total marks on the test, and then once again times the weight of that test, 20%. This is handy when you're panicking for a course. And then we're going to add the test 4 result plus, and notice how it's already come into it. So if you need to, sometimes you actually have to type E5, but if you can still grab it, I think I can without messing up my formula. Yep, got it. And we're going to do divide by 50 times the 40% it is worth. And we'll hit enter. There we go. So the first student got a total mark in the course of 76%. We will copy the formula down. There we go. Fantastic. I didn't know I could do that. And we're looking good. The marks seem to align. I'm looking to the 92%, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, that looks kind of about what I would expect. So now I'd like to go over and assign a letter grade, and we've done this part before, but we're using a bit of a different formula. So I go into G5, and I'm going to click the function button. I'm going to move that up so we can see it, and I'm looking for H lookup this time, a horizontal lookup. There it is. I click OK. All right. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the mark the student got overall. What am I comparing it to? This table. What do I need to remember? That must be absolute. So hit F4 or add all those dollar signs in. Make sure they're in both the I7 and the U8. Now, row index number, what values do we want to return? We want to look at row 2, where the letter grades are. And we see that it's probably going to return a B. We don't do a range lookup. Hit OK. All right, copy it down. There we go. Okay, I want to draw attention to a couple of things. I have 2 failures in this class. One of them is legit. If you get 27%, you should fail. But the other student got 50%, which should be a D-. So there's a problem with rounding. The table will look to the 50 and be like, okay, 0 to 50 is an F. And then if you get 50.1%, then you get your D-. So you sometimes have to manually correct these, or option 2 is you could go through, alter them all. Maybe, we think about if we get a 49.5, we're not going to leave them as a fail. We'll probably round that student up. And if I change this to 49.5 instead of 50, and you can't see it because of the thing, let me change the percent decimal place amount. There we go. You can see a little better. And you can see our 50% mark has gone from being an F to being a D minus, as it should be. And that is what I need you to know in order to be able to do the Excel assignment 2.